Hello, welcome to Storytime for Home Time with me, James Mayhew. Today I'm going to read you one of my own stories, this one, Ella Bella, Ballerina and Swan Lake. And in the story there's a magical musical box, a bit like the one behind me here. This is called a gramophone and I'm going to show you how it works. This tin is full of lots of little sharp needles that you need to be able to play the records. And the records spin round and round on this turntable. They go 78 times a minute, which is why they're called 78s. This thing is called the sound box, and it holds a sharp needle. Can you see it sticking out there? And if you look closely, you can see the date. This gramophone was made in 1906. It's very old. This is the horn of the gramophone. This is where the sound comes out. But first of all, I need to wind it up with this handle. Are you ready to hear a record and a story? Okay, let's hear the music from Swan Lake. It was pouring with rain when Ella Bella arrived at the old theatre for her ballet lesson. "Come in, darling," said Madame Rosa, her teacher. "It's lovely and warm inside." Ella Bella changed into her ballet shoes and joined the rest of the class. "Now, my darlings," said Madame Rosa, fetching her musical box, "today we shall dance to the music from Swan Lake." "That's a pretty name for a ballet," smiled Ella Bella. "Does it have any princesses?" "Of course," said Madame Rosa. "There is a swan princess." Inside the beautiful box, the little ballerina spun around and magnificent music began to play. The children all imagined they were baby swans and danced around the stage. "Will you tell us about the Swan Princess?" asked the children. "Well, her name was Odette," said Madame Rosa. "A wicked sorcerer turned her into a swan, and only at night was she allowed to be a princess again." "Couldn't the spell be broken?" asked Ella Bella. "Only with the promise of true love," replied Madame Rosa. "And one night Odette met a handsome prince, but the wicked sorcerer tried to stop them falling in love." Just then the music finished. "Goodness, time to get changed, children," called Madame Rosa. "Off we go." But Ella Bella stayed behind on the big empty stage all by herself. Gently she lifted the lid of Madame Rosa's box. The little ballerina inside twirled. Then the Swan Lake music began to play, and as Ella Bella danced around, it grew louder and louder. Suddenly, Ella Bella saw something flying down towards her. It was a flock of white swans shimmering in the moonlight. As they landed beside a lake, the swans turned into beautiful ballerinas. One of them wore a crown. "You must be the Swan Princess," said Elabella, curtsying. "Yes, I'm Princess Odette," the Swan Princess whispered shyly, "and my beloved prince is waiting at the castle. He promised to declare his love for me at the royal ball tonight." "Would that break the sorcerer's spell?" asked Elabella. "It would," said Odette. "But if the sorcerer finds out, he will try to stop the prince from declaring his love." "Let's make sure the sorcerer isn't there," said Elabella. "I'll go with you." They set off for the castle together. Elabella left Odette outside and stepped into the dazzling ballroom. She could see no one who looked like a sorcerer. Instead, what a sight met her eyes! Princesses from all over the world danced for the prince. But he seemed to be waiting for someone special. Just then, a tall baron in a long feathery cape arrived with another princess. She looked exactly like Odette, but she was dressed in black, and her eyes flashed as she looked at the prince. "Please, may I have this dance?" he asked her. "That can't be Odette," thought Elabella. "She was wearing white." Elabella curtsied to the prince. "Excuse me, your highness," she began, but the prince didn't seem to hear her. "I give this princess my promise of true love," he declared. "But look," said Elabella, pointing. The prince suddenly saw the real Odette fluttering helplessly at the window. The Baron began to laugh. He revealed that he was the sorcerer, and he had cast a magic spell to make his daughter, Odile, look like Odette. Elabella and the prince rushed outside, but Odette had gone. They quickly ran down to the lake to search for her. They found Odette hiding in the reeds with the other swan maidens. "You've promised your love to another," she wept. "At sunrise I will become a swan forever." "But I was tricked by the sorcerer," said the prince. "It's you I love. We must never be parted again." But just then the angry sorcerer appeared. He summoned a terrible storm to keep the prince and Odette apart. Odette leapt into the lake to escape the sorcerer's clutches. The prince fought the sorcerer and threw him to the ground before bravely leaping after Odette. The storm cleared and the sun rose. Elabella saw Odette in the arms of the prince. Even though it was morning, she had not turned into a swan. "True love has destroyed the sorcerer's magic," smiled Odette. "Thank you, Elabella, and farewell." Music filled the air as Elabella watched Odette and the prince sail across the lake, happy and in love. Ellabella twirled around, but realised the music had stopped. She was all alone on the empty stage. Ella slowly closed the lid of the musical box. "Are you still here?" said Madame Rosa, peeping round the doorway. "Your mamma is waiting for you." Ellabella told Madame Rosa about Odette and her prince. "It's a beautiful story," said Madame Rosa. "I'm sure they lived happily ever after." "Of course they did," laughed Ellabella. "Now, good night, my little swan girl," said Madame Rosa. "Don't forget to practice your dancing." "I won't," said Ellabella. "Good night." And she danced and splashed in the puddles all the way home, just like a baby swan. Well, that's the end of the record, and it's also the end of the story. But this week I've got a special giveaway. It's a CD of music by Tchaikovsky, the man who wrote the music for Swan Lake. And if you'd like to win this, all you have to do is design some costumes, some ballet costumes for Ellabella to wear. This is quite a special CD because I drew the picture on the front of it, a bit like the illustrations in Ellabella. So post your designs on Facebook and on Twitter, and I'll pick a favourite and pop my first Tchaikovsky album in the post to the winner. And now I'm going to listen to some more music. Let's find a different record, perhaps the other side. There we are. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.